in Zelda. I mean, Zelda's like half zoner, not really, more so defensive, campy, whatever. We already saw what they were able to do. So I'm anxious to see what Key is going to be able to bring to the table against T34 that Luigi Kid didn't in terms of breaking the zone of a character like Pac Man. And if I were him, I would focus on not getting gimped off the level. Or just being off the level. Because that's just not a good place for a Luigi to be.
Well, one thing to keep in mind now is how Key is going to approach. What is he going to do different that Luigi Kid wasn't doing or was doing? You know, you got to keep in mind, how is it that you approach this Pac Man who is just going to camp out at the ledge, just hang around at the corner, and continuously throw hydrants every time he can, just so he can charge up his fruit, whatever fruit it may be, whether it's Galaga, Bell, Orange, whatever it is, even the Key. You know, you have to be aware of what is potentially going to get thrown out in this game. And with a character like Pac Man 2, we talk a lot about his trapping, his projectiles, but we don't talk a lot about his aerials, how quick they come out, how good of their get off me tools they are. Nair is pretty good as a get off me tool. Fair, we've seen it puts you in a really hard to react situation where you have to tech the ground sometimes. It's just more of how do you approach as Luigi? You know, I don't have good airspeed. I don't have much to get in with Pac-Man against a Pac-Man. But if I'm able to just like take away some of his projectiles, whether it's the hydrant or whether it's just you know, knowing how to react to the fruits, then maybe I can get in on this. But as we see here now, T34 already got the Luigi experience down and using a very high recovery, gonna get punished there, but you know, it's such a unorthodox option to go for an up B that high with a character like Pac Man.
I was gonna say, I reeled back in my seat for a second. I'm just like, yo, that recovery was Mensa, and then I saw he landed right next to Luigi and got grabbed. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Way, you gotta respect the option because it's just
he tried.
Yeah. Like, and that's something that a lot of players got to keep in mind too. It's not always about doing the optimal option. It's always, sometimes too, you got to go for the more crazier plays, more kind of like WTF plays, where it's just like, why did I do that? But if it works, it's just kind of like, that was smart.
Yeah.
It's like,
ooh, what a beautiful conversion out of the up air towards the top right now. He killed that Pac Man at 74%, Gabe. What a catch on the part of Key right there. And yeah, continuing on, it's not always about optimality. Sometimes what's optimal in the moment is not always what's optimal in the matchup on paper. You gotta remember you're also playing a player matchup here and going off the situation, but the situation right now is a Luigi grab, messing up the second dare, not getting the strong one that second time around. We all know for sure that probably would have been a dead Pac-Man. But T34, as we saw against Luigi Kid, was pretty good at SDIing those, especially at the proper percents where he gets grabbed by those, despite being essentially among one of the more perfect weights for that option. Beautiful tech by Key. That is it, Gabe. That's what I want to see from these Luigi players off the level against T34. I want to see them get more close to the stage, not be in an exploitable spot off the level, and be ready to hit that tech. That's so important, man. I'm sorry. If you're going to be a Luigi player, you need to know and have the reactions to tech off the level like that. Because as any good players are going to know against Luigi, that is where they're going to try to grime you out. That is where they're going to try and beat Luigi to the punch and actually hit him where he's at his absolute most vulnerable and exploitable. And Key knew that and was prepared for it a mile away. And as a result, he might just win this game if he's able to keep this edge guard onslaught going once again. He's fishing for it. Could have up-B'd right there, but definitely wasn't worth the risk that time around. Not on the final stock.
Yeah, we see T34 playing a little bit more on the safe side, just being a little bit more laid back with his options, going to the corner a lot. But you see Key, no matter where he goes, left, right, up, down, he is right on his tail at every single moment. But now with the bell, the mind games are coming to effect. How do you approach? What do you do against a Pac Man that has one of his more stronger projectiles in Bell? Do you just wait it out?
Oh no, and he's got it again.
And
oh my God, Key, you gotta get rid of it, man! You gotta get rid of it. You let him re-grab it like twice. Oh, for Velvet T34. He whipped out the win condition, Gabe. It's Pac Man. You know what it is. When he's got that bell in hand, that neutral just becomes way scarier. And in a sense, actually giving Luigi a taste of his own medicine this time around. You know, like playing that scary neutral. Oh God, I just respawned. I'm at death percent against Luigi. And actually hope that he hits you. Being the ass backwards character that Luigi is. Literally, look at the way he's stretching in that little pose. It's stupid. It's Pac Man, on the other hand, of course, the win condition with that bell. He's got that in hand. Holy God, you better pray that you got good airspeed or a good drift or something, because you have to play neutral with that thing. It's for whom the bell tolls, Gabe. That's what it is.
Yeah, this is where, you know, the phrase goes that Smash is so much of a mental game, you know. It's really all about how strong your mental game is, not just, you know, outside of the game, but like in the game as well. It's kind of like, okay, this character has Bell. What do I do? Do I panic? Do I hold shield? Do I just let go and pray that something goes in my way? No, you got to really think about it. You got to really think it through. You can't let your emotions or your mental state, whether it's you know, just panic or whether it's calm, you can't really let it get to you in those kind of situations. With a character like Pac Man or with Luigi, you know, you just have to play. You just have to play, you know, neutral. You just got to do what you know best, and you know, just if you win, you win. It's always going to be a 50-50 exchange.
These subtle DI notions of T34 right here. We saw how he's been getting out of these Luigi 0 to death, especially against Luigi Kid, like we saw earlier, mashing that stick to the left, getting that SDI, bleeding his thumb all over his GameCube controller. Probably gonna have to buy a new one. Some of them shits are like $200. You better be a little careful. I'm surprised that Key is not really. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was gonna say he wasn't really adapting to the DI, specifically off of the 0 to death, whenever he is able to grab T34 at these low percents like he's been doing. But if there's anything that Key has been insanely consistent of throughout these last couple of sets that we've been watching, it is he knows his percents for the down throw up B confirm. He's hit that like 3 times tonight, dude.
5 times actually, if I'm keeping count, at least from what I've seen. But yeah, like you mentioned before, he's gonna get punished, throwing out a very risky up B there. Yeah, he's definitely gonna get punished for that. But you know what? You got to make up for it somehow, and just, you know, relapse, keep composure, keep control, do exactly what you're doing, because he's playing very well at center stage and not allowing Pac Man to get any kind of stage presence whatsoever. You just see Pac Man running away, but it's kind of just like when Luigi's just on you, not allowing you to go from left to right as you were doing in game 1 and 2. Yeah, like, I feel like Key has finally figured out what it is he has to do to beat this Pac Man.
Yeah, he's fishing deep right now. This is game number 2. I mean, T34 is down, but that's not going to stop him from getting the fruit that he needs. Definitely not the direction that he meant to launch the hydrant right there, but he will use it to the best of his ability regardless. Neutral again, beautiful parry on the part of Key, trying to get that optimal punish out of the last hit of the dash attack. Nothing doing though. T34, the move will carry him far enough away to safety. This is interesting, man. Like, T34 is like not DIing that down B properly and dying to the left side of it, going down to his final stock of the second game here. He's up close fighting in the meat with Luigi, my friend. Maybe that's why Key is able to get away with some stuff that Luigi Kid wasn't really able to before. But regardless, this time around, yeah, he saved his jump, but he wasn't ready to tech that time.
Yeah, when in that kind of situation, just like what happened with Luigi Kid, with they're only getting the first 2 hits of it, you know, the good thing was that Key was ready for that, but nothing could have prepared him for that back air, which was more of a call out. It was kind of like, are you paying attention? Says Key, changing the game.
Bro, speaking of
you're
call
gonna
outs,
catch me off guard with a back air. I'll catch you off guard with a forward smash and make sure I seal game 2 in my favor, bringing this to a game 3 scenario. Beautiful call out right there from Key. You don't get to see that often. It's not really your go-to option to go for forward smash so bluntly as Key did there.
He said, I'm a Luigi player. I got him in a very stringy combo right now. He's going to be mashing whatever options he can to get out of it. So instead of continuing the string, I'm going to charge something because I know he's going to be trying to air dodge out of this. That is called conditioning, my friends. And Key just air conditioned the hell out of this Pac Man. Turned it on, getting a little steamy in his room, and just blowing this Pac Man off to the waters, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to game number 3 and our final best of 3 set of the evening with Luigi versus Pac Man. Can you dig it? The winner of this plays Rivers, ladies and gentlemen, and you know that both of these players are going to be hungry for a shot against one of the best, pretty much the best Diddy Kong and Crom to ever do it. So
it's actually going through the corner of my eye right here. I do have the stream open, so I have looked at chat a little bit, and there is unfortunate news that we will not be seeing Rivers compete for the rest of the DQing, but rating us with 52 viewers. So, you know, thank you, Rivers, for that. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate that you're not going to want to have to deal with the rest of the tournament for, well, you have your reasons, but till then, one of these players right here, whether it's Key, whether it's T34, one of them will be going into Grands. And we could be seeing a Pac Man versus Duck Hunt battle of campers, or another Luigi, yet again, having to deal with a camp trap character in Duck Hunt. We'll see what happens.
That was the worst place that could have possibly happened to you.
Yeah.
That was the worst spot that could have possibly happened to you. You got grabbed by Luigi in the worst spot to get grabbed by Luigi in the entire game. Shake your own hand. You're done.
Unfortunate way to go in this game 3 that really does define what will happen for the rest of the tournament.
No.
Nah, he DI'd that pretty well. That was good DI. Going for it there this time. You know, opting to go off stage. You didn't really see Luigi's go off stage this much today against Pac Man, but he feeling himself now. He knows he's in the upper edge, so why not?
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, you know, like a little less risk in that favor. I mean, obviously the risk-reward in that particular situation is a whole nother discussion. But when you're up a stock, I guess sometimes you're going to be afforded to be throwing that stuff out unless your opponent has way better approach options than your character has or is playing in a certain type of way. He is able to adapt to that situation properly. He knows that he's fighting against a Pac Man right now, and Pac Man players are typically a little more defensive despite having some pretty good aerial approach options like you mentioned earlier a couple of games ago. Yeah, now you see Key just walling out or trying to wall his way in with a lot of back airs from a pretty relative safe distance at the close range. Luigi, little taller than his brother in terms of that counterpart, so if he spaces that properly, especially against the Pac Man, might have a pretty good time walling him out, and now he's got him off the level, trying to reach below with the down smash. Looking like this might be T34's game to lose, though it is definitely way too early to call that. Unless Key is able to take this stock right now, and he's got not the bell in hand, saying, I don't want that. Okay, interesting. That's not what, you know, a lot of other players would have done right there, but okay. Might be a little confidence move, like, I don't need that trash.
Yeah,
I took it and threw it on the ground.
Yeah, when you're Luigi and you have such a great grab or such a good option with your B moves, why not just use that in your favor? But yeah, Key throwing that bell away, it was more of just like, I got a grab and I got some pretty good A button moves that work just like this, just like this, just like that. Just grab and press down A a few times. Just press the A button, man.
What's the number of the day?
If you gotta tell people that Luigi is not just an A button character, just finish with an up B like this, like that, and then you can prove to everybody that Luigi is more than just the button A. It's not just A, guys. Look at that. It's B. I killed with down B. You see?
I don't think there's anybody that thinks. I don't think there's anybody that thinks that Luigi's only an A button character. They know that the 0 to death involves a different button press, but ladies and gentlemen, all I gotta say is what is the number of the day? It is not hard to see. The number of the day is 3, as in 3 stock on the part of Key over T34 right there to advance right by losers finals, as Rivers is going to unfortunately DQ. I saw him raid the stream. I thought he was just doing that because he just didn't feel like streaming anymore, but I guess that it would be a little uncharacteristic. I guess that did mean something else and that he was done. So